everybody. Welcome inside the Rockwall Sports Center Heath Hawk Update. I'm Chris Curtis, joined by the captain of the broadcast for the Hawks, Steve Deere. And Steve, he finally gets their first district win of the year, 48-16 over North Forney. What went right on Friday night for the Heath Hawks to get that first win?
A lot went right. First of all, they were rested. They were energetic. They were ready to roll after their bye week, and it really showed, especially in the second half when they're coming up with just turnover after turnover and turning those into points. Troy and I talked in the game about how important it is for them to start cashing in some of these drives and quit leaving points on the field, so to speak. And they really did that Friday night. They finished off drives, put a lot of the drives into the end zone, and came up with 7 instead of 3 or 0, which has been the case in recent weeks. And so a lot went right for them on Friday night.
This game was pretty close at half, 14-3, but it looked like it really turned over in the second half. Big word turnovers there for the Heath Hawks. Kind of talk about what went right for them in the second half as far as turnovers and getting those key plays to move along.
Well, the Hawk defense has been the backbone of the team all year so far. Offense is coming around and really starting to come into its own too. But this defense has kept them in every game, and that happened Friday night too. They got a number of turnovers. I think 4 of them in the second half. Intercepted the North Forney quarterback like 3 or 4 times. I can't remember. 4 times I think they intercepted him. Mojo Nichibo comes up with 2 interceptions on the night.
Still my most favorite name.
Yeah, Mojo. I like that name too. It's a good name. Mo Julian Nichibo. They started putting pressure on the quarterback. North Forney couldn't run the ball. So the defense just ratcheted it up, gave the offense the ball, a lot of opportunities in the second half that, like I said, the offense cashed in and put some points on the board. And so it was really a total team effort, but the turnovers really were the key difference maker in the game on Friday night.
And of course, I think Coach Moss is happy about those 4 turnovers on Friday night. Let's hear from him for the first time in 2 weeks.
Well, getting the win's very positive. Feels good after a win, no matter, mistakes or no mistakes. And it took us a while to get rolling the game the other night, but we finished strong. I felt like we could even played much better, and it could have been a much bigger game for us than what it was. But it was a good victory, great play, some great individual efforts, and some guys that really have improved and stepped up and really getting better each week.
All right, Steve, we got to talk about the nice new look for the Heath Hawks, those helmets that debuted on Friday night in Forney. Kind of tell us, for those that haven't seen them yet, we'll pop up a graphic of them here, but pretty high, right?
Yeah, I tell you, Coach Moss has been hinting about this for a number of weeks now, promised me to secrecy, not to say anything about a new look to come. I didn't know it was going to happen Friday night. I walked into the stadium, looked down on the field, and saw these incredibly shiny helmets with this amazing chrome Hawks wings on the side of the helmet, and you probably have a graphic up of it now, but really sharp uniforms. I mean, it really makes a profound statement. We were debating who it reminded us of, a little bit maybe of Ohio State with their chrome helmets, mix maybe between Oregon Ducks and Ohio State, but really a dramatic new look for the Hawks.
Yeah, let's talk about as far as the standings go now. Looks like with this win, Heath kind of moves up into 5th place in district at 1-2. A big game coming up Thursday for them to kind of inch their way into the playoff picture. Is this almost a must-win game for the Heath Hawks come Thursday night?
Well, I think so, yeah. If they want good positioning for the playoffs, they're going to be playing kind of their twin in the district so far this year in West Mesquite. A lot of similarities between the two teams. They got the same record. West Mesquite, when you think about them traditionally, they're a high-flying offense, put a lot of points on the board, throw it around. That's not what they're doing this year. They're really grinding it out, playing a lot of close contests. They've lost to the same 2 teams in district that Heath has, in Poteet and Terrell. Heath played those 2 teams a little bit closer. They really weren't even close in the 2 teams or 2 games that West Mesquite played against them. But West Mesquite beat a really good Wiley team earlier this year, so it really depends on who shows up. But as far as being their twin, they're playing a lot of young guys the same way we are. Quarterback Connor Neal is a sophomore. Running back Curtis Williams is a sophomore, and they really rely on those 2 a lot. Yeah, that's so they're looking in the mirror this week, and it just depends on which team shows up, which one really rises up, and the young kids really play the best this Thursday night. Is going to take that next step forward and be in the driver's seat for a really good seeding for the playoffs.
It's definitely time to take that next step forward for the Heath Hawks. Hear what Coach Moss has to say about the matchup this Thursday night against West Mesquite.
This is a very, very important game. Matter of fact, our next 2 district ball games are probably our next 2 toughest district ball games. Both West Mesquite and Forney will be contenders for playoff spots. West Mesquite is kind of feeling like we have. They're coming off 2 consecutive losses. we'd like to make sure and give them a third consecutive loss there before we go into that Forney game the following week. So it is big for us, and it's important for us to go in there and get a win so our backs are up against the wall going into a Forney game.
All right, Stephen, don't forget it is this Thursday night, 7 o'clock at Mesquite Memorial Stadium, a brand new reconstructed Mesquite Memorial, maybe for the one last time for this year. We'll see if we can pull out a win here. We got two more there, don't we?
No, this is the only one we've got there, yeah.
One and only trip.
One and only trip. You know what? It's been a long time since we've been at Wilkerson Sanders. I'm looking forward to getting home for homecoming against Forney the week after. But, yeah, we got a Thursday night game this week, 7 o'clock kickoff on a Thursday night. They kick it off early because the kids got to get home. But, yeah, it's going to be an important game. Like I said, it's hard to believe we're already talking about seedings for the playoffs, but we are in the stretch. We're past the midway point in the season, and every win is important right now if you really want to not only make the playoffs but get a good seed. So it starts this Thursday night. Good to get the first district win under our belt last Friday night. Time for the next one now, and they need to get it done Thursday night.
Of course, it's Thursday, 7 o'clock. You can't make it out. It's www.rockwallisd.com. But come on out and join the Hawks and check out those brand new state-of-the-art looking helmets out there for the Hawks. They are pretty something special.
Bring your sunglasses because when the lights shine off that chrome, it'll blind you, yeah.
And the Hawks look to go 2-2, and we will be right back here next Monday. We'll talk to you later. Until then, go Hawks.